So, interesting moment for me. Very early in the morning, I received some small video from some student I meet because sometimes I change something quite important, and after it's difficult to know if they do good or not. So I ask them to send me a short video for the working process to see if they are on the right direction, and it's exactly what happened with this sympathetic Ivan from Trossingen. So let's listen to the beginning. It's got a latte face. Bravo. Okay, so really, Ivan, I speak to you, of course. You improved so much. You changed everything. Before you were fingers totally flat, and you pressed too much on the keyboard, and you never had the relation between how much you pull with your bellow and how much you bounce on the keyboard because of the section of the mechanic. So it's a complicated process. I will not explain to you all now because you understood. So you really now bounce on the keyboard, and then the fact to bounce, it makes a little bit the sound of the harpsichord clavecin, because it's down, bound, bound, because the harpsichord make down, and after we have the resonance of the harpsichord itself, the big box, but also from the room. So it's great. You could now bounce a little bit less fast, because now I listen too much bum 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 bum, and in fact the room where we play the harpsichord in general, or castle or church at this time for the baroque music, make more resonance. So it's exactly the same bounce, but not so much far away from the keyboard. Now you do perfectly the movement, ting tang tang, but from this movement you can also do this movement using the articulation of this finger. Okay, so it's very great like that, and it will be pom pom pim 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 pom 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 pom. Okay, so that will be a little bit more efficient. Like for the moment, it's a little bit plastic, it's a little bit like you understand the movement and you do it. Bravo, it's revolution, because before you did ti la 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 la. Okay, so let's repeat again.
It's got a latte face.
Exactly, that you need, but you are. Okay, so it's much better, and when you repeat 2 times the same thing on the right hand and on the left hand on the same time, you should think more leggero, because you have double melody at the same time, and the harpsichord style is all the time very sophisticated, leggero. So leggero means don't shout, don't open the mouth. The mouth is the mechanic, the clapet, which is here under the grill, and if you press, even if you bounce, you can bounce from 5 millimeter or 2 millimeters. So it's better to bounce 2 millimeters than 5, because you have more time from 2 millimeters to close the sound with your arm. Bam, bam. Okay, the fact to go down 2 millimeters and out. If you go 5 millimeters, you open too much and you don't have the time to close with your finger the key. So it's only the mechanic who will do it, and it will be plastic because it's mechanic. Okay, so pum, 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 pum. But be careful, the trap is when you try after to find this connection with the sound, to don't use anymore the bounce. It's always the bounce, okay? Pum, 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 and not da, da. The fingers, they are really the slave of your arm, who is the slave of your body, who is the slave of your brain. Your brain. That's why you say Scarlatti face. Yes, of course, you have to be Scarlatti style, because otherwise, if you're like that, we will listen da 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 da, especially in the morning. Yes, very early. Instead of this, bum bum bim 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 bum. Okay, Scarlatti face, even in the morning. Okay, now we speak about trillo. Tran tanta mordante. Mordante means to bite. It must be as tonic as possible, but not with accent, because you do accent with your body all the time up. We will go and see that now. Take a little bit before. Okay, I take again earlier because it was not the right moment.
It's got a latte face.
That you do perfectly. I trust you. You see, you make it's it's normal reaction of your body, but it's absolutely wrong, because everything, every movement perpendicular to the direction of the bellow will kill your bellow. Of course, if you go in this direction and suddenly something that it stops the tension of the sound, but it's not what you want. You want to have an extra tension of the sound. but not an accent. What is the extra tension of the sound? Because if you make tada, it means that the keyboard must be a little bit harder to help you to don't go down and to be ejected with your tada out. It's not your arm who go, it's because you make this section of the mechanic, the key, mechanic, open. If you pull it a bit more, you, okay? If you don't pull, you don't have this power of the wind that will close the clapet, the door. So instead of doing this movement, just make this movement. Keep the same tension from the beginning that help you to bounce. Din, 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 din. And after you just do scarlatti face, like you say, it's so good and so nice from the beginning. Is okay, with your body, but not with your body like that. Okay, you are a sportman. I know that you have all the time some very reaction, and you are Korean also. So it's good to have this reaction energetic, but shouldn't be for the bellow because you really kill the tension. Okay, so, and when you do it, here it's not 5 millimeter, it's not 2 millimeters, it's 1 millimeter. Because if you more you press, more you open, more the sound is long, because this is the sound, no sound. Okay, so no, and with your hands like that, you need to make them moving like okay. Or with your whole body, yeah, like sportman, basketball player. Okay, be careful to the rhythm. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Okay. Yeah, there is a connection with the rhythm. I know that it's just because you learn now this music, but be careful to the rhythm from the beginning. Okay, because tan tan ta and ta ta. No, no, merci. Okay, and now look at your eyes. Interesting. Now we see that you are in panic. Why? Because you are at the second part. Okay, and it's very new sonata. So what you do the same mistake of everybody. I think that when you practice, you learn from the beginning, and after you learn a little bit more. But when you learn this little bit more, you take again from the beginning. Dan dan din din dan 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 na na. Now you know because you did this 100 times already. But after na 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 na, it's the new part. Why to begin a sonata of Scarlatti or any music from the beginning? Why? Take the most difficult part and begin it. Then it's the one that you will practice the most. Because if you have 3 months to practice one big piece of music, why you begin by the beginning? The people will only remember the end of your music, not the beginning. So it's better, I think it's better to all the time take the middle part, the most difficult, and then you will know, and the end. And after go back to the, okay, I know, we want to learn this music. Oh, the beginning, yes, we know. No, because after you have this problem. And now when I speak about your eyes in panic is because now you try to read and to play. You already read that before, so you have a little bit reflex, but you are in reflection on the same time. So of course you will make mistake. When you practice this part, just begin from this moment. But why we don't do that? Because all the time we begin from the beginning, we are a little bit in reflex, and we arrive there, we have this kind of reflex. No, if you want to improve, to change the position, to change your articulation, you need to change your reflex. Understand? Okay, so now we see that you're in panic. I like it. Okay. Yeah, of course you're right. Now we have a jump. Okay, so this jump, you need to practice typically exclusively this jump from palm, tension of your body, not tension of your shoulder, tension of your left arm, palm, with eyebrow, palm, 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 to know what is the movement of your arm to go from here to here. Because now your elbow is a little bit down, and because it's a little bit down, you are in 3 dimensions. You have this dimension on your keyboard, plus this dimension. What is we don't need, only 2. Okay, that, but with the piano it doesn't work. It doesn't exist because we can be rewrite the same. If you want to be to the white or to the black, no, be on the middle and don't move. Then you have everything. And after you just up and down. Okay? So try to remember instead of trying to play and of course you make the mistake, okay? And especially because you read. Okay, so I think it's all. You're right. It's very good. I'm very happy about this experience. So I make it like that to show that it's very important that we are in process. I change your face. Scarlety face. I prefer this way. When we have listened, so I was with you in Trossingen last week. We had very nice moment. It was super good, but don't stop to send to me some video like that. It take for me 12 seconds to listen and to make an audio. Now I really wanted to make like an example that is good to do that because we can correct. And from this, you know that if you are in the right direction or if you're in the wrong direction. Now you know that you are in the right direction because you change so many things. You are very light and you are scarlety face attitude all the time in your life. So I just teach you how to play like you are, okay? But I had to clean it to be the things from Ukrainian boy who plays scarlatti. No, Ukrainian tractor is fantastic, but not to play scarlatti. Okay, and when you play scarlatti, I repeat, you are not a boy, you are not a Ukrainian, you are not an accordionist, you are just an artist who must be on the skin of scarlatti, okay? That artists from this century, with the way they were dressed, the way the people were dressed, where they played, the color of the harpsichord, all these things that change your attitude, and your attitude change the tension of your muscles, that change the tension of your bellow, that change the tension of your keyboard, that change your articulation, okay? To make summary very fast, from that we have the sound, okay? Because movement makes the sound. Congratulations, my friend. I'm waiting for the next video today. Bye.